So, me and Lauren have known each other for, I wouldn't like to say how many years, but since we were kids, basically. And we discovered that we have talents that could maybe merge. So I'm a baker, and Lauren is a makeup artist, hence why her face looks amazing and mine looks like I've just...
You're a natural beauty.
From the grave. So we thought we'd collaborate and try and learn a new skill. So I'm going to try and teach Lauren some baking, and Lauren is going to try and teach me how to beautify my face.
Catherine, you've got a big job ahead because I am the worst baker. I don't measure anything.
The challenge is the best part about it, so we'll see how we get on, and I hope you can learn along with us. So Lauren, here is a very big clue as to what we will be making. I think if you don't get this, then you
mince.
Really
oh, so it's going to be mince pies.
See, she's already a pro. She knows.
Well, Christmas is on the way, so I kind of gathered that it's going to be mince pies.
I've been working on customising. You can't see it from there. But this is a mince pie
I love it.
Uses
It's a little Christmas tree.
pears.
Oh wow, what? So
Yeah.
it's going to be a peary mince pie.
Pear, almond, mince pie.
Nice.
Because some people find the full-on mince pie a bit too rich. So I thought I'd make a November version.
Yeah, yeah, okay, so I like that idea.
Yeah. Do you like the challenge?
I love the challenge.
Let's see how we get on. We have the flour and the sugar.
Yeah.
And the butter. We'll put all the quantities at the end of the video. You need to mix flour and the sugar so it's nice and combined. Okay. So that way you don't have any lumps of sugar. It should be evenly distributed in your pastry. So this is just a sweet shortcrust pastry. And the key here is keeping the temperature nice and cool so that it doesn't become rubbery. Perfect. And then now you need to get your hands dirty. And then you want to use your fingertips rather than your whole hand because you don't want to get the butter too warm and melty.
Oh, so it's got to stay cold?
Yep. So just use your fingertips and basically you want to just get the butter and then just rub it with the flour.
So you're basically needing all this butter to break up?
Yes, you're incorporating the butter. So by the end, it will start to look like breadcrumbs.
It'll go as fine as that?
Yep.
Wow.
If you're doing it right. You're being a little bit too massagey.
Oh, right, okay. That's why you have beauty therapy coming in. All for the wrong reasons.
So you have to work mostly.
What, quick?
With your fingertips and quickly. So that is looking a lot better. You see what I mean?
Okay, yes, it's a lot finer.
Yeah, it's finer. It's thicker than sand.
Okay, so I can, yeah, I've got that.
So you don't want massive chunks. So if you see any huge chunks of butter, you just want to break that down and crumble them in with some flour.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we need 1 large egg. And we'll just crack it into the bowl first.
Do you know that I can't touch eggs?
Tell me more about that.
No, I just can't. I'm a little bit OCD, and the thought of an egg coming out of a chicken's bum, I just can't. I don't know, I just can't touch eggs.
I mean, fair enough.
I know they're washed, but... So I haven't touched an egg in... Gosh, a long time. What do you think?
Very impressed.
I'm actually really proud of myself.
That is looking like breadcrumbs.
Yay!
Now, to make it into an actual dough, you need to whisk this egg.
Okay.
So, lovely. Bit more. That's it. Oh.
Now in?
Perfect.
In?
Now, stick it in. Great. And then you can just mix it with a spoon. Okay. Initially, just to incorporate it.
Does it matter?
Doesn't really matter.
And like any kind of mixing technique, or just?
That's what you're doing is perfect.
Okay, great.
You just want to try and get loosely most of it incorporated before you get your hands dirty again.
Oh right, I'm going in.
You're going in.
Okay.
So I think you can start. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you don't want to knead it.
Okay.
You just want to bring it together into a ball.
Oh right. Okay. So I'm going into a ball now.
Keep squeezing it a bit harder because you do need it to be all together. But you don't want to knead it like bread or it become tough.
Okay.
It's always the balance. The first time you do pastry, it's difficult knowing when it's the right texture.
Okay.
And you know, it's something you can just experiment with and have a few goes at. So you want it to be together enough that you can roll it.
Yeah.
But not working it for ages so it ends up tough and rubbery.
Because do you want this pastry to be flaky? Or have I got that completely wrong?
So short crust pastry is crisp and short. So it breaks easily, it's not rubbery.
Okay.
And
So
it's almost
got a
melt in
snap
the
to
mouth.
it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a bit like melt in the mouth.
Okay.
So that's not looking too bad. Maybe just a little bit of kneading because it's still very crumbly. That's it. Perfect. Yeah, I think that's enough. And then we bring it to a ball, and what we'll do then is we'll wrap this up, relaxes, and it can be worked with again, otherwise you'll end up with a very tough dough.
Okay, you're so knowledgeable. It's quite impressive. Okay.
We're going to take care of our pear element whilst our pastry's in the fridge. So what Lauren has to do is cut this as fine as she can. If you have a mandolin at home, that's like a thing with a blade, you can do that and then it slices it thin. But I don't have one. So
I'm just made of money, Catherine.
She doesn't even have a mixing bowl, so she's not going to have a mandolin. So Lauren, you need to slice as thin as you can.
Okay.
Be careful of those fingers.
Right, I'm going to have to go this way, I feel.
Oh yeah,
Are you
because
left-handed?
I'm left-handed.
Ah.
So it helps.
I actually forgot that.
Yeah.
Okay, I know that's not, sorry, that isn't very good.
Well, the first one won't count.
Okay.
Anyway. But that's good, it's good practice.
Alright,
It's a little bit
here we
thick.
go.
Good, yeah.
Oh, I'm quite proud of that
That's
one.
very good.
I guess, do you kind of need to see light through it?
Ideally, you want it to be translucent is the word. Now, the rest of the pear, just want to cut it into little cubes.
Okay. And what's this going to be for?
So this is going to go into almondy, spongy mixture. So this is just water and sugar. Just enough water to cover the sugar. You boil it until it makes a clear syrup. Then we can add the slices of pear. Right, so you see it's starting to change colour a little bit and caramelise. That means we're going to add a little bit more water. So we keep that lovely caramel in there, but it still allows the pears to boil a little bit so they go nice and see-through.
Cool.
And then they'll be put in the oven to dehydrate, which means to dry out basically, and they'll go nice and crisp and sweet. So now we've got those out, and this will go into the oven on the lowest heat setting, because you're not cooking them, you're just trying to get some of the moisture out of them. And what happens is they'll start to shrivel up slightly and they'll go quite crisp or like a bit bendy, and it just gives a nice texture and just concentrates the flavours. It'll be sweet and peary. Okay, Lauren, so here is the time when we discover if your dough has actually worked. So this has been resting in the fridge for an hour. So let's see if we have a crumbly mess, or hopefully something that resembles shortcrust.
Good, nice.
I think that looks pretty good actually. I'm pretty impressed, Lauren.
Oh, thanks.
There you go.
That's my first go actually making pastry.
That's genuinely
I normally
really
buy
impressive. Yeah, now there's no excuse. So what you need to do first is you need to lightly...
Yeah.
That's the one.
Is that enough?
Lovely. Maybe slightly more, just so it doesn't stick. That's exactly it.
Is that okay?
Yep. And then maybe just squeeze your pastry slightly into a ball.
Squeeze it into a ball?
Yeah, just an evenish shape.
Like flat or an actual ball?
Yeah, that's fine.
Like that?
Yeah. Does it feel like it's going to fall apart?
No.
Okay.
Should it?
No.
Oh, right. Yeah?
And take your rolling pin.
Okay.
And then you want to start rolling.
And how thick should it be?
So, this is almost a game of how thin do you dare to go. Because I personally prefer a thinner, crisper pastry than a big fat, stodgy bit.
Yeah, same. I suppose it's a bit like there's not enough flavour coming through on.
Yeah, exactly, and it's easy to underbake it if it's too thick.
Right.
It's just very floury and
it's
horrible and claggy.
A bit too claggy's the word.
Claggy. And sometimes if you've got a big piece of dough, it's good to work with it in two halves if you're finding that your surface is struggling, like this is slightly.
Very much so.
I might suggest we just
trim him.
this, and then you can work with that afterwards.
Okay. Is that enough?
Yeah.
Great.
That looks good. So I've got my tray, and this cutter is basically just slightly bigger than the circle that you're trying to fill, because you want it to be able to flute up the sides so you can actually fill it. Because if you just had a small disc at the bottom, you're not going to be able to fill that, it would just fall apart. You want to put it as much in the centre, exactly, yeah. And then gently push it in. So just tease it in. That's perfect. Okay, Lauren, so these have rested in the fridge for half an hour. So firm up a bit. Now you need to put, I'd advise, about half a teaspoon, maybe slightly, just to cover the bottom. Because the whole point of these is it's not absolutely packed with the filling, because we want to offer a slightly alternative that's not as mincy.
And this is a really silly question, but what is actually mince?
So it's basically dried fruit and spices.
What's
and
the one
sugar.
thing?
I think that's like some rice.
Rice?
I'll read it. As you start filling it, I'll read you what's in it. Sugar, apples, vine fruit, sultanas, raisins, currants, candied mixed pill, glucose, fructose syrup, orange peel, sugar, lemon, vegetable suet, that's probably what it is. Treacle, acidity regulated, blah, blah, blah. Mixed spice.
It's like maggots.
It does.
Life.
I mean, this is a little bit old.
Like nugget mince pie.
Right, so you didn't see us making this because we don't have an extension lead, so the whisk can't reach to this point. But this is the frangipane, which is what lies on top of our...
Frangipane.
Frangipane.
What a lovely name.
Which is the kind of spongy, almondy mixture. So what we do is we've whisked together butter and sugar, and then whisked in the egg a bit at a time, and then afterwards we folded in the flour and the almonds, and that is what is produced. So we're going to layer that onto our tart cases once they're done. Filled our cases, and now we need to put some of the frangipane on top.
Frangipane. I literally love saying that.
So just kind of spoon it, that'll do for now.
Is that enough?
A little bit more.
And then do I need to spread it over?
Yeah, but what we're going to do is you want to stick some pear in there.
Oh.
So these go in the oven for about 20 minutes at 170 degrees, just on the top shelf there. Perfect. Okay, so we've got these out of the oven now. You can see the pears on them.
And they look so nice.
They caught slightly in the oven, but you just have to work out the temperature of your oven and whether you need to turn it around halfway through. Each oven's slightly different.
Bit of icing.
Yeah, exactly. Just cover it up. So now Lauren's going to have a go at cutting out the decorations for our pies, which are tiny, weeny Christmas trees, just made out of some of the extra pastry that we had left over.
I'm going to really enjoy doing this.
Okay, so to decorate these, what we're going to do is I've got the pear which has come out of the oven from earlier. You can see that's crisped up. It's quite translucent, it's lovely and caramelised. So what we'll do is we'll kind of rip off pieces of that.
Oh, they look really nice.
So you just kind of
be
a bit arty with it, Lauren, really. Okay, so Lauren's baked her little creative shapes.
But Catherine, I just broke it all.
Oh, it's very
put it in there.
Tree. Okay.
Well, actually, I'm going to put this. I feel like what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that. I love this part of it all. I'm going to put that there, so then you get a better silhouette.
Good contrast.
Yeah.
I like that.
Silhouette contrast, that's what I'm looking for.
Perfect.
I'm learning.
So what I'd suggest actually to serve with these, lovely.
And then that's his nose.
Okay, so they look good.
So do you, you've got loads of blue glitter all over your face.
Well, there's me thinking I wasn't going to get any makeup done today, and I've managed to smear it all over myself.
Fabulous.
So the proof is in the tasting, so shall we have a go?
Yeah, I'm going to go for this one. It's not going to burn my tongue, is it? I'm just
no, it's cool. It's cooled down now.
Oh my god.
Mmm.
That is really good. Look at the middle. I tell you, you're right. I'd eat, because I'm not a massive fan of mince pie, to be completely honest with you. Sorry, mouthful. But because it's such a small ratio of mince, and I love this, what do you call it?
Frangipane. Frangipane.
It's so nice.
Mmm.
It's really nice.